Imagine a world where giant games are born from tiny ideas, where a lone developer, with only a computer and a craziness in their head, can completely change the history of video games. That's what I'm going to show you now. 10 indie games that were not just games. They were earthquakes that shook the games industry. If you love stories of revolution, of the small against the giants, this video is for you. Starting with Braid. This game introduced several innovations in its gameplay that many later titles tried to imitate. The narrative details and the immersive atmosphere, together with its unique gameplay, make it a game absolutely ahead of its time. Jonathan Blow created more than just a platformer. Each level was a true masterpiece of design and concept, where time manipulation was not just a mechanic but a deep metaphor about memory, regret, and choices. The watercolor aesthetic, intricate puzzles, and fragmented narrative made Braid much more than a game. It was an artistic experience that challenged everything known about interactive storytelling. Players didn't just play, they interpreted. Every move, every time reversal is part of a larger story. As a big fan of indie games, I can say that Braid is one of the best paradigm-shifting experiences I've ever seen. It completely transformed how we thought about platformers, narrative, and time mechanics. And who knows what the revolution it caused? Doesn't it deserve a tribute or a new reimagining in the coming years? Limbo is a game with several innovations in its approach to platforming and psychological horror. The minimalist visual details and the immersive atmosphere, together with its unique gameplay, make it a game absolutely ahead of its time. Braid had created something far beyond a simple platformer. Each scene was a meticulous visual composition, where the absence of colors and dialogue became the most powerful narrative tool. The black and white was not just an aesthetic choice, but a statement about the fragility of existence. The game's physics, environmental puzzles, and wordless narrative made Limbo much more than a game. It was an experience that challenged the very definition of storytelling in games. Players didn't just control the character, they interpreted. Every shadow, every movement is part of a deep existential story. Its impact on indie game design was transformative. Limbo showed that complex narratives can be told through minimalist mechanics, without the need for extensive dialogue or direct explanations. Each death, each puzzle, each movement of the protagonist carried a layer of meaning that went far beyond mere entertainment. The work not only redefined platformers, but paved the way for a new form of visual storytelling in video games, inspiring countless developers to think beyond traditional narrative conventions. Hotline Miami, with its top-down shooter mechanics, neon visual details, hypnotic soundtrack, and immersive atmosphere, together with its frenetic gameplay, makes it an absolutely incredible game. Denatong Games created something far beyond a simple shooter. Each level was a choreography of violence and precision, where style was as important as mechanics. The retro aesthetic and calculated brutality turned every death into a morbid, hypnotic work of art. The synth music, psychedelic visuals, and fragmented narrative made Hotline Miami much more than a game. It is an experience that questions the limits of violence and perception in video games. Players don't just eliminate enemies, they perform a macabre dance of death and style, where every move is as important as the final result. Its impact on indie game design was profound. Hotline Miami redefined how we thought about violence in games, transforming brutality into a kind of performative art. The perfect synchronization between music, movement, and combat created an almost hypnotic experience. The work not only revolutionized top-down shooters, but became a cultural icon, influencing aesthetics, music, and game design for years to come. Undertale brought an RPG approach that many later titles tried to reproduce. Its unique narrative details, revolutionary combat mechanics, and immersive atmosphere, together with its irreverent gameplay, set it apart. Every interaction in this game is a complete deconstruction of traditional RPG systems, where the player can choose to resolve conflicts without violence. The ability to spare enemies instead of defeating them is a profound statement about empathy and moral choices in video games. The characters, seemingly simple, carry a rare emotional depth. Every dialogue, every encounter, every moment in the game is full of humor, meta references, and a sensibility that completely challenges players' expectations. The fourth wall is constantly broken, creating a unique experience of interaction between player and game. Its impact on the indie game community was revolutionary. Undertale demonstrated that narratives can be truly customizable, with multiple endings that genuinely depend on the player's choices. The game's ability to remember previous choices, even across different playthroughs, was something never before seen with such depth. The work not only redefined RPGs, but became a cultural phenomenon, inspiring countless fans, artists, and developers to think more creatively and empathetically about storytelling in games. Stardew Valley is a farming simulation game developed entirely by one person, Eric Barone. The game transformed a genre that once seemed limited into a deep experience of life building, community, and human connections. Every villager has a unique, deep, and carefully crafted story. The gameplay mechanics go far beyond farming. Cave exploration, fishing, mining, and building relationships, each aspect is meticulously worked on. The game manages to be simultaneously relaxing and engaging, creating a world that goes well beyond simply planting and harvesting. Its impact on the indie games market was massive. Stardew Valley proved that a solo developer can create something as complex and engrossing as any large studio. The game reignited interest in life and farming simulation games, inspiring a new generation of developers. The work not only redefined farming simulators, but became a global phenomenon, creating a passionate community and demonstrating the power of indie storytelling. Journey completely redefined the multiplayer gaming experience, creating a wordless narrative that communicated more through silence than many games do with lengthy dialogues. The Campaign turned a simple traverse across a desert into an existential journey, full of deep meaning. The mechanic of random encounters with other players without verbal communication was a sublime metaphor for human connection. Each meeting was unique, fleeting, yet charged with a rare intimacy in video games. The minimalist aesthetic and the stirring soundtrack elevated the experience from a game to a true work of interactive art. The visual progression of the journey, from the arid desert to the mountain peak, symbolized much more than a physical path. It represented a metaphorical trajectory of overcoming, connection, and transcendence. Every detail, from character movements to subtle visual effects, was designed to provoke a deep emotional experience. Its legacy goes beyond mere mechanical innovations. Journey demonstrated that video games can be poetic experiences, capable of prompting reflections on existence, solidarity, and the individual journey without the need for dialogue or direct explanations. Inside raised environmental storytelling to an absolutely revolutionary level. Also created by Playdead, practically the successor to Limbo, this game turns every movement, every environment into a fragment of an extremely disturbing dystopian story without using a single word. The protagonist's progression through an oppressive, mechanized world is a complex social critique, where every detail carries layers of meaning. The control mechanics, both of the character and of environmental elements, create a sense of manipulation that goes far beyond mere gameplay. The sound and visual design work in an almost hypnotic synchrony, turning each scene into a living tableau of dystopia. The ability to provoke discomfort and reflection through visual elements was something never before seen with such precision in indie games. Its impact on how narratives can be constructed without dialogue or direct exposition was transformative. Celeste transcended the limits of platformers, transforming every jump and movement into a deep metaphor about personal overcoming and mental health. Matt makes games created much more than a skill challenge. It was an intimate journey about facing anxieties and inner fears. The protagonist Madeline's ascent of the mountain represented far more than a physical challenge. Each level layered narrative about self-knowledge, portraying internal battles in an absolutely innovative way. The gameplay mechanics merged perfectly with the emotional narrative, something rarely seen in indie games. The minimalist soundtrack and expressive pixel art built an atmosphere where each death was not a frustration but part of a learning process. The assist mode, which allowed players of different abilities to experience the story, was a progressive statement about accessibility in games. Its impact went beyond design boundaries, proving that games can be powerful tools for emotional expression and personal reflection. Hollow Knight completely reimagined the Metroidvania genre, creating an underground world so dense and mysterious it seemed to breathe on its own. The world-building design turned exploration into an almost archaeological experience. Each new area revealed layers of lost history, declining civilizations, ancient conflicts, all without using a single explanatory line of dialogue. The watercolor art and fluid animations created an organic, living world. Combat and progression mechanics were subtly interwoven with the narrative, so each newly acquired ability was not just a power, but a fragment of understanding about the game's universe. Bosses were not simple obstacles, but chapters of an epic story. Its legacy represented a new way of storytelling in exploration games, where the environment itself is the main narrator. And the last on the list, Slay the Spire, completely transformed the concept of card games and roguelikes, creating a unique experience that challenged all previous expectations of the genre. The real-time deck-building mechanic revolutionized the way players thought about strategy. Every card choice, every relic collected, every path decision created a unique survival narrative. The combination of deck-building elements with roguelike mechanics generated a strategic complexity never seen before. The for-playable characters were not just different classes, but complete strategic universes. Ironclad, the Silent, the Defect, and the Watcher represented totally distinct approaches to combat, with mechanics that intertwine in surprising and unpredictable ways. The system's design allowed for nearly infinite combinations. A seemingly simple card could become a devastating tool depending on the relics and other cards collected. Each run was a unique story of adaptation and discovery, where random is turned into strategic opportunity. Its impact was transformative, inspiring a new generation of strategy and deck-building games. These games represent much more than simple indie titles. They are milestones of a revolution that completely redefined video games, proving that innovation does not depend on huge budgets, but on creativity and courage. Each game demonstrated that video games can be art with wordless narratives, revolutionary mechanics, and deep emotional expression. They transformed the medium from mere entertainment into a complex and meaningful language. The message is clear: the future of video games is not in million-dollar graphics, but in the ability to tell unique stories and create transformative experiences. The indie revolution continues. If you enjoyed this content about games that revolutionized the world of video games, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, comment your favorite indie game. Thanks. See you next time.